You've been praying about the same thing for a long time now, and when you look around, nothing has moved. But Scripture gives us 7 signs that God may already be working, not in your circumstances yet, but within you. The situation is the same, the people are the same, the waiting is the same. And somewhere in the quiet, a hard question starts to form. Is God actually doing anything, or have I been forgotten? If that question has crossed your mind, I want to say something gently and honestly. Sometimes you can't see the breakthrough because the work is happening somewhere you can't see yet, inside you, before it ever appears around you. Often, before God changes what surrounds a person, He begins changing what is happening within them. He forms the character, dependence, discernment, and readiness that the next season will require. Let me be clear about what breakthrough means here, because this is where a lot of believers get hurt. Breakthrough is not a promise of money, a wedding, a promotion, or a healed body by next month. In the Bible, it is broader and deeper than that. It may look like new freedom, restored peace, clarity after a long fog, a new direction, a matured faith, or yes, a real change in your circumstances. God knows which one you actually need, and often, before He gives it, He prepares you for it. Here are 7 signs that may mean God is preparing you for a breakthrough you cannot see yet. The first sign is that your desires are quietly changing. Think back to what you were chasing a year or 2 ago. For many people in a waiting season, something begins to shift. The things that once felt urgent start to feel smaller. Things you used to overlook, like honesty, character, peace, and truly knowing God, begin to matter more. That is not random. Romans 12 says we are transformed by the renewing of our mind. When God renews your mind, He reorders your wants. So if you notice that you want different things than you used to, and better things than you used to, that may not be you drifting. It may be God preparing you to receive something your old desires could never have handled. The second sign is that you're being given small things to be faithful with long before the big thing arrives. It rarely feels significant. It looks like showing up to a job that feels beneath you, keeping a promise no one is watching you keep, or doing unglamorous work honestly when quitting would be easier. Jesus said, "Whoever is faithful with little will be faithful with much." That teaching also reveals a pattern. God tends to build faithfulness in the small and hidden before He entrusts you with the large and visible. If your season right now is full of quiet obedience that nobody applauds, don't despise it. That may be exactly where readiness is being built. The third sign is that your endurance is growing even when your circumstances are not. Notice how you're carrying the weight now compared to before. The same pressure that once would have crushed you is still there, but somehow you're still standing under it. You're still praying, you're still here. James tells us that the testing of our faith produces perseverance, and perseverance finishes its work by making us mature and complete. The waiting itself is doing something. It's building a strength in you that comfort never could. If you can endure today what would have broken you a year ago, that is not nothing. That is character being formed for whatever comes next. The fourth sign is harder, so I want to be careful with it. Sometimes God removes things, and not only bad things, sometimes He removes good things too. Jesus said that the branch which bears fruit gets pruned so that it will bear even more. Pruning is not punishment. It's preparation. A good gardener cuts back a healthy plant on purpose because unlimited growth in every direction produces a weak plant, not a strong one. But hear me clearly. This does not mean every loss you've suffered was sent by God, and it does not mean you should read tragedy as a divine message. But if you've noticed God gently loosening your grip on things that were fine, but were quietly taking too much of you, that may be pruning. He may be clearing space for the growth He's about to bring. The fifth sign is redirection. Doors you expected to open stay closed, and a path you didn't plan on slowly comes into view. In the book of Acts, Paul tried more than once to go where he intended to go, and the Spirit stopped him. It must have been confusing in the moment, but those closed doors were steering him toward a place that desperately needed him, a place he never would have chosen on his own. Not every closed door is God, and not every obstacle is a redirect. But when you look back and see that the things that fell through were quietly moving you somewhere more meaningful, that's worth paying attention to. Sometimes what feels like a dead end is actually a turn. The sixth sign might be the most surprising because it can feel like the opposite of progress. Your dependence on God is deepening, which means you may actually feel weaker in yourself than you used to. You've run out of your own strength. You've stopped being able to fix this alone. Yet that is often where God's power becomes clearest. He told Paul that his grace was enough and that his power is made perfect in weakness. Preparation doesn't always feel like becoming stronger and more capable. Very often, it feels like getting to the end of yourself and finding that God is still holding you there. If you're leaning on Him now in a way you never had to before, you are not falling apart. You are being made ready. The seventh sign is one of the clearest of all. You have peace before anything is resolved. Nothing in the situation has changed, yet something in you is quieter than it has any right to be. Paul wrote that when we bring our worries to God, the peace of God, which is beyond understanding, will guard our hearts and minds. Notice the order. The peace comes before the circumstances line up, not after. The prophet Habakkuk said it even more boldly. Even if the crops failed, the fields stood empty, and everything he depended on was gone, he would still rejoice in God. That kind of peace in the middle of an unresolved season is not denial. It's a gift. That peace is not proof that a particular outcome is about to arrive, but it may be evidence that fear no longer has the same authority over you while you wait. So look back over those 7 for a moment. Changed desires, faithfulness in small things, growing endurance, pruning, redirection, deeper dependence, and peace before resolution. Notice that none of them depends on your circumstances finally changing. Every one points to a change God is working in you. That is the whole point. God is far more committed to preparing you than to performing on your schedule. I need to be honest with you, because I care more about your faith than about telling you what you want to hear. Seeing some of these signs does not guarantee that a specific breakthrough is arriving next week, or that the exact thing you're praying for is on its way. God doesn't work on our timelines, and He doesn't owe us the particular outcome we've decided we need. But you can hold on to this. A God who is preparing you has not forgotten you. Preparation is not delay. It is love that refuses to hand you something you're not yet ready to carry. So what do you do while you wait? You keep obeying in the small things. You let Him form you instead of fighting Him for control of the timeline. You trust that the work you can't see is more real than the stillness you can, and you stop measuring God's faithfulness by how fast your situation changes. Whatever God chooses to do next, the work He is doing in you right now is not wasted. Your job is to be found faithful and to be ready. If any of these 7 stirred something in you, take a moment and ask God to show you what He might be preparing in you right now. Then leave a comment about which sign spoke to you the most, because someone else who's waiting needs to know they're not alone. If you want to keep growing in this kind of biblical discernment, subscribe and stay with us for more.